Okay.
Hi, Jennifer.
Oh, hey, Becca. Oh, I missed you.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for being there for my kids like you were there for me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for everything you did for me.
You're welcome.
I know nobody tells you thank you enough.
You would have done it for me.
Okay, let's not get sad. You know what I really wanted to say?
Yeah, what?
As far as like yours and Christy's gifts, you need to realize one thing. When you have these gifts and when you can do the things that you guys can do, it's actually a service for others. It's something that God gives you to serve others with, and you're getting graded on how well you serve others with your gifts to an extent. That's the reason why you don't know the winning lottery tickets, because anything that's self-serving will make you go backwards. That's not to say that it's bad to want things, and that's not to say that it's bad to have things. And the reason why I know all this is because it's the same over here. So basically, when you're ascended in the 3D world and when you can tap into the 5D world, you're tapping into and becoming what we already experience all the time over here. That's the reason why I know that. And over here, if we do anything that's self-serving, we kind of like go backwards a little bit.
Oh, okay. Like it is over here in a way.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like the more you serve others with your gifts and the more that you help others heal with your gifts, the more you receive. There was something else too. Hold on.
That is so neat.
Yeah, and the whole point of learning how to get from the 3D to the 5D and beyond the 5D is so you can experience what they call heaven, which is not even an adequate word for it. You can experience that on earth.
Because it's our reality.
Mm-hmm. So do you want me to elaborate?
Yes.
So like, if your heart is pure and you're serving others and you're doing everything with love and you're ascending and you get to what you call the 5D, then you get to the point where you can just think something and it appears. And it's kind of like what prayer does, what Chrissy was talking about the last two nights, how she's been earnestly and faithfully praying for those that she loves. And then she instantly feels like a shift. That's the same thing. It's like when you get to what you call the 5D and above the 5D, it's like you instantly want something and you want it in a pure heart, typically for other people, because the key is to serve other people with your gifts. But like a backwash of that is that you get blessed as well, because the universe is always responding. And the universe, just like your guide said, the universe is always giving you back what you put out. So when you're to that point where you're above the 5D level is when you can think of something and it'll instantly appear, which is how it is over here if you're doing it with a pure heart. I don't know how
That
else better to
instantly?
explain it. Yeah. Yeah, as long as nothing that you're doing is selfish.
That's amazing.
That's the key, is to just have pure love and gratitude all the time and not have selfish motives.
Call forth that energy.
Well, and I don't want you to think that wanting nice things or wanting prosperity is selfish. It's not selfish. It's just a game that you're playing with the universe, that the universe gives you exactly what you put out. Exactly. You're getting you're reciprocating everything that you do all the time. So if you're judging somebody else, then the universe makes you feel like you're being judged. If you're helping somebody else, then the universe is always helping you. If you're wanting the best for everybody else, then the universe is always trying to find the best for you. And then communicating, I think it's special that you can communicate with the universe, which is an aspect of God actually, but when you're saying things like, I am I am prosperity. I am love. I receive unconditional love all the time. I reject anything that doesn't feel like love. I reject anything that doesn't feel like prosperity. I am a magnet for prosperity. Whatever your mantras are. I mean, honestly, you should be saying, I am happy and I give others happiness. I am joy and I give others joy. Anything that you say like that, where you're communicating with that aspect of God that is the universe, I think it's interesting that you have that direct communication, but it's the fact that you're saying it out loud, which is making you feel the feelings of it, which is making you vibrate on a level that energy that you're wanting is that vibration. So you can think it all you want, and that's fine, but if you say it out loud or if you write it down, you're actually matching that vibration and calling it forth to you. That's why it's better to say I am love rather than I want love.
Okay, because you're placing yourself in that frequency, and when you're writing it and saying it, it's intentional.
Yes, but if you say things like, and there's nothing wrong with saying things like, I am prosperity, I am a magnet for abundance. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those are good little starter things to show you how it works. But you can say things like, I am prosperity for others. I am abundance for others. I provide abundance for others. And that's going to get you there faster because the universe sees that that's what your heart is, and if your heart really means what you're saying, then you're in that vibration, and so the universe is going to give you opportunities to be that for others, and then you're going to get your manifestations even faster. But if you're thinking about the fact that you're going to get your manifestations, it's not going to be as fast. If you're thinking about the fact that you want to bless others, then it's going to be faster.
Okay.
Don't ever think about the payback.
Because in reality, the intention we put on it is creating it for them.
Yes. But the more you can think about loving and serving others, I don't know, it's just like, it's just interesting to me that in all of my healing and all of the atmosphere, I guess you could say, of where I'm at is exactly what you're attaining and aspiring to have when you say things like the 5D and beyond the 5D or ascension or ascended master. An ascended master is essentially somebody who has an earth body but is living as though they are in heaven already.
Okay.
But this is my everyday. I mean, this is 24 hours a day. This is just how things are done where I'm at. And so that's the reason why I'm able to explain it to you better.
It's the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lifestyle I desire.
Yes. Forgiveness for somebody else who triggers you and harms you in some way, and then you don't retaliate and you have forgiveness and grace. Even if you have to work on it, it's still a good thing because that's what you're going to get back in return. That's why that's so important, because you want to, when you're doing something low level or when you're having a bad moment and you make a mistake, you want others to give you that grace.
Yeah. Okay.
And the universe will make sure of that. But if you're losing your cool and you're defending yourself and you're getting triggered whenever somebody does something to you that's not fair, then the next time you do something that's not fair, the universe is going to give you all that back.
Okay. So situations can happen just to prepare you for whenever you need it.
Yes, and then when you start passing all the tests, that's when you get elevated another level. And you've done very, very well. You don't lose your shit about money anymore. You don't anxiety for hours and hours and hours or days. You don't get impatient with your kids or your grandkids anymore. You're just like letting it all water off your back like a duck. So you're doing very well. You're stepping into it.
I am stepping into it, and this correlates with what Chris had brought me the other day. Thank you, Becca.
I just think that it's kind of sad that for most people we don't learn this until after we pass away. So it's kind of cool that you and Chrissy are putting in the work to gain the knowledge.
Yeah, and the goal is to let people have that knowledge.
Yeah, and ultimately for your soul, the goal is to get here and not have to take all these classes and lessons. You're already ascended. You're already an angel. You're already a spirit guide. And I mean, you've already earned that. You're already a spirit guide to a couple of people, so you've already earned that. But when you're like me or like 90% of the population, you get here and you have to go through all these classes and these lessons, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's all done with pure love, but it's kind of cool that you're going to be able to get here and skip all that and just go right into your next level.
I think it's because I've learned on this earth realm to be able to do it.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle that you were able to receive knowledge and not ignore it. It's a miracle.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. It's a miracle that you were so self-aware that you were able to change the course of your behavior and your thinking.
Well, I didn't want the death of my family members to go to waste. And that's what ascended me to it.
You've always been kind, and you've always had a good heart, and you've always wanted to help people. And I think whenever you decided to change the course of your destiny and your future, those things pulled you through. You've always had that heart that is willing to give someone what they need, is willing to literally give someone the shirt off your back. And when you love somebody, you love them fiercely and loyally, and you're not a halfway friend. You're 100% a friend, and you've always been that way. And I think that's what carried you through to where you didn't fall when you were trying to do better.
Thank you for that.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, because you've always been maternal and wanted to take care of people, even when you were mad. I put you through a lot, and I'm sorry.
I just needed to learn how to handle it better.
I think you did great. I would have kicked me out. I would have kicked everybody out, to be honest.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you, though.
Well, it's just interesting to me because you're already here. So sometimes I forget that you're still down here too.
Oh, that's so cool.
You're a teacher where I'm at.
I am?
Mm-hmm.
What do I teach?
Well, for people that want to go back and have a higher course of learning, you are their guide. And for people who want to keep ascending higher over here, you help them with that. And you teach them how to get rid of their blocks, which over here, a block is a different thing than it is where you are. Where you are, a block is because you guys have physical bodies that are run. A lot of the parts of your bodies are being run and being operated without your consent. It's just like you don't wake up every day and give your body permission to breathe. It breathes because it needs to breathe. You don't wake up. I mean, you do give your body permission to do a lot of things, but a lot of things that it does, like use the bathroom or sweat or cry, you're not actively giving permission. And so that's the thing with these heavy 3D bodies, is that there's so much heaviness in there, and there's so, like, your brain is the reason that you get these emotional traumas. And, you know, we don't have a brain. We're just an essence. We're just a soul. We don't have all that heaviness, so it's a lot easier for us. But the blocks that we have over here is more like when someone feels like they don't deserve love, or when someone feels like they have to go back and redo their life because they need to clear out their karma, but you're showing them, no, you did clear out your karma. Let's get you to the next level.
Oh.
So whether that's them becoming an angel or them becoming a spirit guide, or there's so many jobs. There's so many jobs.
Oh, that's amazing. So you got a whole perspective over there.
Yeah, and everyone's already here. So it's kind of...
So it's like you're really not missing us that much like you thought you would.
Right, because
I love that.
Right. My whole family is already here, so it's kind of like weird when I go, oh, wait a minute, they're down there too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. So what I'm teaching there, I'm kind of wanting to teach here.
Yes, but you get less resistance here because people don't have that heaviness and that brain and that trauma. For people to have, when they get over here, for people to have that sort of guilt, even though guilt isn't even the right word, or that sort of like resistance to thinking that they deserve love because maybe they abandoned their wife and kids when they were in their earthly bodies, right? It's not even, for them, it's more of a imprint. It's like an imprint or a memory that they know is there and they don't want it, but it's kind of like leading and guiding them to think that they don't deserve pure unconditional love. But that's an earthly imprint. That's an earthly memory. And of course, if they choose to reincarnate, that imprint and that memory, for the most part, disappears. Sometimes it'll stay, but for the most part, it'll disappear. And so what we're trying to do, well, not me because I'm still learning, but what you're trying to do is explain to them, you don't have to have any of that. You don't have to carry any of that. You're free now.
Yeah, because kind of like on here, it would be an imprint, but we can energetically remove that and cleanse it to where it's like it didn't even happen.
Yes, but the problem that you face down here is that people still, because they're in their 3D bodies, they're still carrying judgment and hate and resistance, where up here it's pretty easy because people are just embodying pure unconditional love. You're just trying to get that imprint and that memory to stop. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
It's so beautiful. Loving conditions.
And that's the
No,
whole...
you're explaining really well.
That's the whole mystery of it all, is just, why do people forget that they are made of unconditional love when they have a human body? Why do they forget that? Why do people do bad things? And I know the ultimate answer is because of free will, but that isn't even an answer that satisfies me, because I can look at every single person on the earth and just only see pure unconditional love, but they can't see that about themselves. Every single person is unconditional love, and every single person has that to give if they can release their traumas and their blockages.
Yeah, that's why you got people like me and Christy to go in those dark energies.
Yes. And when you're at a level of service that is, I don't want to say satisfactory, that's not the right word, but when you're at a level of service that is in flow with what God told you to do, or what you agreed to God that you would do, then that's when all kinds of things are going to get shaken up in a really good way for you.
That is so beautiful. I feel like I'm getting a lot of downloads from you right now.
Well, you're the one that told me all this.
I was thinking that earlier.
On the other side.
I was like, this is what I'm teaching them.
This is everything that you've taught me on the other side.
This is so beautiful.
Because I want to be able to keep elevating on this side too, so I have to listen to things that you and Mom say.
Yeah, because you're very important.
We all are.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to learn to let go of my imprints and my memories too, and even just to come down here to talk it's so thick and it's so heavy, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's not extremely pleasant, but at the same time, I know when I can do it, it helps you.
Yes, and I'm so thankful for how far you've came.
I'm still learning, because I still carry a lot of imprints and memories sometimes.
We're all learning always. Yeah, I'm so glad you did come in and check on us. Well, at least you don't miss me that much ever up there.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I've lost a lot of my selfishness and grudges.
Yeah, that's a victory. That's like a soul victory.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual bath when you get here.
I love that. Was that you in my room last night?
Yes, trying to talk to you, but it's so interesting how it's so, and Christy's picked up on this before, it's so interesting how we can talk to somebody who's not super close to us, but we can't, the people that are super close to us and love us the most can't hear us.
I know. I'm getting there though.
Well, it's like this for a lot of people. It's not just you. I mean, Christy can't hear her relatives either.
Mm-hmm.
But every time there's like a pop or a noise or something like that, that's almost always a spirit trying to communicate and trying to figure out how to break that barrier with you.
Because I was like, this is not a normal noise. This has got to be someone trying to reach me. Oh, I love that.
Your little grandson is activated too.
Thielen, he's so adorable. What do you mean by activated?
Like he's an ascended master.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay.
And I think the good news for him is that he's not going to have to go through all the hard lessons. I mean, just the fact that he has a human body and he has all that heaviness and he has a brain and he has emotions and all that doesn't, just that fact alone, he's going to go through sadness and he's going to have a heartbreak and he's going to have, his first girlfriend going to break his heart, or his sister's going to hurt his feelings, or, you know what I mean? Like that very human level, that thing right there. But as far as like all the soul ties and the soul contracts and the karmic cycles and all these things that had to play out for you and Christy for y'all to get it, he's not going to have that because he's under your guidance and he's under your shelter.
I love that. That must be why he's so happy all the time.
Yeah, he's a little he's gonna be a little yogi. He's gonna be a little spiritual little thing.
Good. I love that.
I think when he gets to high school, his nickname is like Buddha or something. Because he's like the peacemaker and the calm one. He's always trying to like get everybody to choose love.
That's so cute.
Yeah, but the good news is by the time that he gets to high school, a lot of things will be changed.
Yeah, he'll probably be owning the school.
A lot of people are way more open-minded.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were certainly right when you were picking up on the fact that there's, what you call a new earth and there's all these changes happening. You're certainly right. I mean, sometimes you're misguided on exactly when it's going to happen, but you're getting visions of it and they're correct. And, just like how Christy wanted RFK Jr. to be president, he's doing much more good actually, and he's making much more effective changes as his role as health inspector of the country or something. I don't know. Because just like Christy's been finding out and researching, he is banning the fluoride in the water, and people are having spontaneous awakenings and starting to think for themselves and not believe everything that they read on the news because they're not zombies anymore. And he is trying to get fluoride and aluminum banned, and he is getting all the food dyes that are giving kids autism and giving adults cancer and all those things. Like, he does have that very divine knowledge. And by the time his term is up, and a lot of that things is going to be banned like it is in Europe, like, for instance, in Europe, you can't buy Mountain Dew. It is considered a toxic poison because they have the research and they're listening to the research, and it's the proven that it infests the brain and causes cancer cells. In America, they only care about profit. And people like RFK Jr. can see that and can try to do something. And even if his change is just that big in the grand scheme of things, it still starts a revolution. By the time your grandkids are an adult, it's going to be a full-fledged revolution where
good.
People are trying. There's going to be, like in the 60s when people were standing up in the streets and protesting and all that stuff. It's going to be kind of like that, but without the violence, where people are just demanding clean food and demanding healthy water and demanding all these things. And it's, like RFK Jr. is just that little spark that sets the whole thing on fire in a really, really, really good way. And it's amazing the amount of knowledge that people are going to get about how badly they've been poisoning themselves.
Yeah. On a lot of levels, I'm learning.
It's so crazy to think about how many things that you guys have talked about that are things that I now know, that how spot on you are with certain things, with the divine knowledge that I've been exposed to. And to look back on some of you guys' conversation and just realize how close you were, and sometimes you were spot on with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's admirable because you're having to find this stuff out intuitively. You're having to fight through the density of your body and a corrupt country and ignorant people that are essentially zombies walking around. You're just having to rely on your intuition, and you've been so spot on about a couple of things.